2014, the resource-rich Sultanate of Brunei Darul Salam will celebrate the significant milestone of 30 years of independence from Great Britain. Much has been achieved in the past 3 decades. Brunei is currently ranked 5th in the world by the International Monetary Fund in terms of GDP per capita, and its people now enjoy a life expectancy that is second only to Singapore in the region.
I think that has its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages because people will set a benchmark, and compare themselves to us, which is nice, But at the same time, the disadvantages would be, the sense of complacency. When you're at the very high level, you get sometimes too comfortable. And I think one of the main shift that I think would be needed in the context of Brunei is the shift from being fairly comfortable to, if I can phrase a term, simulated difficulties, if you like.
The challenge now is to find a way to build upon this success and secure a prosperous future for the people of Brunei. Sustainability has become the watchword for economic development as the government looks to find ways to diversify the economy and decrease dependence on the export of oil and gas, while at the same time equipping the next generation of Bruneians with skills to compete with their neighbours in what many now are calling the Asian century.
If Brunei does not diversify its economy, it's going to be a nightmare for the country. We know that, depending solely on the oil and gas sector is not going to help Brunei in the future. So I think it needs to go for other source of income, that what I call the non-oil sector.
Central to this strategy has been the Rancangan Kemajuan Negara ke-10, or the 10th National Development Plan, which was inaugurated in January 2012. The plan represents an investment of some $6.5 billion in development projects that include new education facilities, transport infrastructure and public utility upgrades, support for new communications industries, as well as investment in science and technology.
Increase of 1% of GDP to research is very significant, not only to Brunei but especially to the universities. It would enable the universities to expand beyond science, technology and innovation to other areas which cover areas like economics in relation to our aim to diversify Brunei economy. In addition, it will also increase the capability at the university.
Brunei Center for Strategic and Policy Studies has been at the forefront of advising the strategies mapped out in the RKN10 for development of the economy, together with the Economic Development and Planning Department of the Prime Minister's Office.
The National Development Plan is very important for the country to pursue what sort of plan that need to be undertaken for the country to be able to develop its economics, its infrastructure, its other form of sector like a human resource. So in this case, education is a very important part to be looked into.
As you know, RKN10 talks about innovation, knowledge and innovation in propelling, if you like, productivity and economic growth. So I think our role will not only be focused on producing graduates for the workforce, it also means that the young people that enters the university, the young minds, would contribute to the development of what the future is going to be like in Brunei.
The success of any transition from a resource-based economy to a knowledge and technology-based economy will depend on an education system that can equip the next generation of Bruneians with the level of knowledge and skills required to compete in the 21st century.
We can make use of our oil and gas income or proceeds to develop our non-oil sector. For example, in the human resource development, other sectors which Brunei can develop, like in the ICT industries. We can also go for our ecotourism, things like that. So this is going to help in the future.
The development of technical tertiary education is perhaps the greatest challenge facing Brunei today. As Brunei's most prestigious center for learning, the University of Brunei Darul Salam sets the pace when it comes to preparing the next generation of Bruneians for the future workplace.
I think our role will not only be focused on producing graduates for the workforce, it also means that the young people that enters the university, the young minds, would contribute to the development of what the future is going to be like in Brunei. And this of course goes with the faculty as well, the professors within the university as well. So that's on one aspect in terms of contribution.
The non-availability of local colleges and institutions of higher learning to provide the required skill set for the requirement of the industry is a big challenge, and the gap is very wide.
ITB is more focused on engineering and computer science with the aim of providing manpower requirement for Brunei in the area of petroleum and chemical engineering and also civil engineering. UNISA is very special in respect that it is an Islamic university where programs are offered in the Arabic language, through the Arabic language and English language. And the areas of their specialty is Sharia law, where students would be equipped with the Sharia law and the civil law.
While oil and gas exploration and production will remain the mainstay of Brunei's economy for some time to come, the Sultanate is aiming to revolutionize the way it does business by investing in new high-tech industries that can both complement and build upon the success of Brunei's primary resource sector. One area of such focus has been in the area of biodiversity research. Some 58% of Brunei is primary rainforest, and through collaboration between the University of Brunei Darul Salam and other leading international research centers, scientists are increasingly looking at practical ways to harness the power of nature. In this age of cutting-edge nanotechnology research, unlocking the secrets of how humble frogs defy gravity could yet deliver a revolution in the development of advanced adhesive technologies.
Well, our interest is in studying adhesion, and what's particularly exciting is that animals that climb have many properties that would produce really interesting new adhesives. And nobody else has looked at what tree frogs do, and I've been studying that for a number of years. But what has brought me here is not only an abundance of tree frogs, but another kind of frog that you find on waterfalls that happily climb with piles of water pouring down all over them, and they can still succeed in staying up and climbing. I think there are real aims in the longer term future to develop new adhesives that can stick in wet and even flooded conditions.
One area where Brunei has achieved success in attracting some of the most dynamic technological innovators to Brunei has been through the hosting and promotion of major international conferences. In particular, Brunei has had significant success in attracting major contractors and original equipment manufacturers from the defense technology arena to participate in Brunei's very own defense exhibition. The Brunei International Defense Exhibition and Conference, or BRIDEX, as it is better known, has become a biannual highlight for the international defense industry in the Southeast Asia region.
The one thing that I like about exhibitions is the amount of knowledge that you can acquire within a very short period of time. The amount of information that is available, especially insofar as technology is concerned. And this is very important for Ministry of Defense, being a small force. Technology is very much a force multiplier, and I suppose it is also the same for many countries where technology plays a very important role in the development of the armed forces.
The government agency that is in charge of organising and promoting BRIDEX is Royal Brunei Technical Services, otherwise known as RBTS. RBTS was established to assist the Ministry of Defence in the procurement of sensitive and strategic military equipment.
BRIDEX is definitely a catalyst for technological advancement and improvements. There will be transfer of technology. They should will and must be transfer of technology to our local SMEs, our local corporate entities.
The first BRIDEX was held in 2007, attracting 108 companies from 16 different countries. By 2011, the number of exhibiting companies had more than doubled to 320 companies, with 60 countries represented.
I think BRIDEX has grown quite significantly over the years since it started in 2007. It was, I think, both in terms of the qualitative aspect and the quantitative aspect. Quantitatively, the exhibitions has received an increasing number of exhibitors, especially last year. We were able to get more than 200 of exhibitors from 30 over countries participating in the exhibition, compared to the first one that we had, which was basically over 24 countries and more than 85 exhibitors participating.
2013 will be much bigger in the sense that during the Brunei International Defence Exhibition, it will be back-to-back with the ASEAN Defence Ministers Meeting, ADMM, as well as ADMM plus countries. So imagine that it's going to be much bigger.
Modern Brunei has been built on the energy industry, so it is only fitting that the country should lead the way in the development and advancement of alternative energy technologies. It is also way ahead in solar energy technology development. In May 2011, the Sultan officially inaugurated Brunei's first source of renewable energy, the Tenaga Surya Brunei TSB solar demonstration plant. The primary goal of the TSB project, a joint venture between the government and the Mitsubishi Corporation, is to gather performance data on 6 different types of photovoltaic panels. While Borneo may seem like an obvious place for the use of solar power, the hazy sunlight conditions have proved to be a significant hindrance for further expansion of solar technology. Therefore, the lessons being learned at TSB could yet prove to be vital for the development of green energy in the region.
I think Brunei quite very rich country for the solar energy, and then so Brunei can have a good potential for introducing that solar power energy. For example, our project, TSB project, our actual generation output, daily generation output, is around from 4,000 to 4,800 kilowatt hour per day, but our original design was about 3,700 kilowatt hour per day. It means that the actual result is higher than by 10 to 30%. It's a kind of proof that why so Brunei is has a high potential for solar power energy.
Brunei's energy sector has been transformed in recent years as the government has sought to develop economic ties with China and capitalize on the country's huge demand for petrochemicals to fuel its rapid economic expansion. Several large-scale petrochemical plants have now been approved by the government. The biggest of these is the Pulau Murah Besar Island development, which will represent an investment of over $8 billion in new refining capabilities for the country. The refinery will produce paraxylene, benzene, diesel, jet A1, gasoline and kerosene, mainly for export to China. Phase 1 of the project is expected to be completed in 2014.
In our case, we have new industry area like Pulau Murah Besar and also Bukit Panggal industrial area. All these places is designed to welcome the international player in oil and gas. And there's various other incentives by the Ministry of Finance in terms of taxes that make Brunei very much an attraction for investment in oil and gas services industries. This is a good example. This is a good sign. Yeah. But now we want to make sure with the development of Pulau Murah Besar, because Pulau Murah Besar is designed to be the main downstream activity industry area. We're looking at Pulau Murah Besar to develop something like in Singapore, Jurong Island. Jurong Island, I visited it, it's a very interesting facilities, and there is no reason why Pulau Murah Besar cannot be the Jurong Island of Singapore, because the downstream industry that we have in Brunei will definitely contribute to the employment of Bruneian, create employment opportunity for Bruneian to work in downstream oil and gas industry.
The complex will be built and operated by the Zhejiang Hengyi Group, one of China's largest private companies and the largest supplier of textile raw materials on the Chinese mainland. The Zhejiang Hengyi Group also operates several petrochemical plants in China.
Our project is will be starting from the crude oil refinery, and then in two phases we will implement the aromatics and also cracker project in Brunei. Hopefully we can, in one aspect, we can back integrate to the feedstock we require in China, and secondly, we can also contribute to the Brunei petrochemical industries. Brunei has been a long-term trying to develop its petrochemical industry. The reason is try to diversify their oil and gas sector because they are too focusing on selling just oil and gas. Right? And in order to develop this petrochemical industry, you need a refinery and a cracker project. And I think that kind of match Peng Yi's motivation. So I believe there's a big synergy there, and bring Peng Yi and also the Brunei government together, and to achieve that the success the both parties are willing to implement.
Investment in new industrial capacity could yet open the door to new opportunities for engineering services companies to expand in Brunei. However, local companies will face the not so insignificant challenge of investing in and training staff in the use of unfamiliar technologies. One local company that is looking to take on the challenge is Adenin Works and Engineering.
In any partnership, it is always a desire to have a win-win situation and of mutual benefits to both parties. In my personal opinion, there is a very good opportunity for Brunei to become a knowledge hub for the oil and gas industry. This will attract a lot of top foreign expertise to come and set up a base in Brunei.
Aside from technology transfers, one of the greatest perceived benefits of increased foreign investment in the oil and gas sector is the opportunity for Bruneian businesses to gain knowledge of foreign business practices and develop business ties that will enable local companies to grow into truly international businesses. With significant offshore oil exploration taking place in locations across the South China Sea, Bruneian engineering and services companies are ideally situated to take advantage of this and become regional players.
We also would like our partners to take us out of Brunei and expose us to areas new to us and develop our skills overseas. Downstream expansion is vital to Brunei's economy. Brunei being a politically stable and less prone to national disaster will definitely attract foreign direct investment, and also the downstream activities will spur growth, for example in specialized training centers, human capital development, and also hospitality and tourism industry. Adenin as a group has always been looking to bring in new technology, products and services into the country. We do this by going overseas to attend worldwide conferences, exhibitions and courses. We also talk to experts in various fields and ask them to come to Brunei to transfer their knowledge and expertise.
At the heart of Brunei's development success is an open environment and attitude towards foreign investment and expertise. This has paid dividends in recent years, with several high-profile investments made in 2011 to 12, made by both Asian and European multinationals. Underpinning this success is Brunei's reputation for stability. Brunei Darussalam, translated into English, means Brunei, the abode of peace. Brunei certainly lives up to this name, with the lowest crime rate in Southeast Asia, and a governmental system that has created a framework that has brought a substantial improvement to the living standards of the population. At the core of this success lies the rule of law and a harmonious political and legal system within the country. Brunei is a deeply traditional society and also has significant ecological sensitivities. Brunei has therefore chosen to avoid the mass tourism that its neighbours have sought to develop, choosing instead to play to its strengths by focusing on niche attractions such as eco and Islamic tourism. The government believes that it can successfully grow the tourism industry while, at the same time, protecting the culture and heritage of the country. Originally established to facilitate Hajj tours for the Bruneians, Darul Salam Holdings has grown into Brunei's premier provider of Islamic tours within Brunei itself.
Our motto is sentiasa berkhidmat dengan petunjuk Allah, or continuously providing services by the guidance of Allah. Bearing that one in mind, so we have to practice our duties by the teachings of Islam, and then we translated it to the day-to-day management and operations of the business. Actually, there are a lot of places for the Islamic tourism to visit in Brunei, but I'll recommend the Balai Pameran, or the Islamic Gallery of the Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah at the State Mufti buildings, where they kept His Majesty's prized collections of one of the smallest Quran in the world, and a 1,000-year-old Mus'haf, and also collections of replicas of the sword belong to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Being a Muslim and a peaceful country, we have a lot of things to offer that people outside there don't have. Brunei Darussalam is always known as a kingdom of unexpected treasures, where people can experience the beauty and the Islamic way of life, culture, and traditions.
Brunei has clearly come a long way since achieving independence. With education reform, investment in new industries and economic diversification now well underway, the Sultanate of Brunei Darussalam can surely look with optimism to another 30 years of progress and development, while maintaining the harmony and traditional ways that lie at the core of what it means to be a Bruneian.